Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and today I am back on a surprise Saturday because when I'm regular with my videos I like to be a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday kind of guy, but back today with my February book haul. I didn't want to take too much February content into March. It doesn't bother me as a viewer, but for some reason as a creator it bothers me. Does it bother you? Let me know. Save me on some sleepless nights or maybe just some ponderings. But anyway, yeah, I thought I would have a chat with you about some of the books that publishers sent me in February and all the books I bought myself. But before that, a little bit of admin because I have told you that there will be 2 videos coming. Well, I was hoping they'd be coming at the beginning of March. That's not going to happen now for various different reasons. The first of which is book club, the Frank book club with me and Melanie won't be coming until the beginning of April. We weren't able to film last month because I had my whole wobble thing that I talked about in the last video, but also March is just proving a bit of a time with my 40th coming up. So yeah, we're hoping to do it at the very end of the month and then it will go live in April. So if you're reading along, sorry for the delay, but if you're not reading along and you'd like to, get your mitts on migrations and you can join in and we'll have a lovely time at the beginning of April. The other book chat that I was due to do was with the lovely Pip. I was hoping to bring Crime Time back this month. I don't think it's going to happen probably until April because poor Pip, she was meant to be coming to film with me tomorrow, right here on this here sofa. But she has COVID, so we'll be talking about Girl A by Abigail Dean. Oh, the sun's decided to shut itself. Let's move you a little bit forward and see if that stops. There we go. Getting very close and intimate now, lucky things. Anyway, we are going to be talking about Girl A by Abigail Dean and other crime books that we've read in due course, probably at some point in April. So we'll return, just not for now. Right, let's get on with books from publishers. And I say some books because what I'm starting to do now over on my Patreon, when I say I'm starting, I'm going to film it at some point this week, is Should They Stay or Should They Go, where I talk about unsolicited books I'm unsure of. So the books I'm going to talk about here are just the books that I know I want to get to at some point, whereas the books that I'll be talking about over on Patreon will be kind of asking my patrons to help me pick whether they end up on future hauls or not. It'll all make sense over there. My Patreon's always linked down below. I won't plug it anymore in this video. So anyway, enough of that Patreon plug. Let's talk about books from publishers. And the first 5 are books that I have shared on this channel before, but when they were in hardback, possibly even in proof actually, and are now in paperback now or nowish. The first of those is A Passage North by Anuk, Arudpragasam, and this was shortlisted for the Booker. It's set in Sri Lanka. I really want to read some fiction from Sri Lanka. Me and Mum keep saying that we might go to Sri Lanka together next year maybe. But yeah, it's one that I've been meaning to read, but out in paperback soon, so there we have that one. Also up for the Booker was Klara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro, and I've been wanting to read this because I hear it's more the Never Let Me Go vein of his writing, and I absolutely loved Never Let Me Go. I thought it was incredible. But yeah, I haven't got to it yet, but it's out very soon, so I thought I'd share that with you. Speaking of Crime Time earlier, this could be a really good Crime Time choice because I think this is all like small town secrets and mysteries and thrilling stuff. It's Tall Bones by Anna Bailey, and when this came out in hardback I meant to read it and I still haven't, but I would like to get to it at some point, as I would. And I'm really shocked I haven't read this one because this was really high on my... And am I shocked? No. But we have Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. Everyone who read this last year loved it, and I really, really wanted to, but didn't get around to it. There we go. I actually did a whole video on books that I meant to get around to in 2021 that I'd like to get around to when they come out in paperback in 2022, and this was one such book, so I do need to get to it. It's Karla Neblett's King of Rabbits, which is all about rural poverty in Somerset, and I don't think we talk enough about rural poverty, so there is that one. So there we go. Now on to books that I haven't talked about on this channel before, I don't think, and hopefully also, well, they're new to me. Well, they're not because they've been around the house for a while, but they're new to the channel and hopefully therefore new to you. First up, and this is a very precarious pile, so I've got to be really careful, is one of my most anticipated books of this year. It's The Dance Tree by Kiran Millwood Hargrave. I absolutely love Kiran's writing. I loved her collaboration with her husband, Tom de Freston, and I really want to read his book actually at the moment. Julia and the Shark, I thought that was brilliant, and I thought The Mercies, which was Kiran's first adult novel, this is her second, was absolutely phenomenal, so I'm so excited for this. I was very kindly given this by her publicist after my event with Hani Yanagihara last month, so that was cool. Then we have a book that I got, but also the publishers very kindly sent a copy to my mum because I thought it looked like her kind of thing. I don't think the book looked like her, but I thought it looked like her kind of thing. And that is Delphi by Clare Pollard. Now, I have to say, it was seeing the wonderful Evie Wild rave about this that made me think, oh, I just want to read it. And then I looked through it. It looks quite different. Like, it's got little vignette bits in, which I really like. I think it's going to be quite unusual. So yeah, really, really excited for this one. Then, I don't know too much about it, other than I've seen various like little mini reviews and a little bubble of buzz is beginning to build for it. This is The Poet by Louisa Reid. And what drew me to this, because these all came unsolicited, was that it said on the cover, a novel of toxic love, unspoken rage and fighting back, but also it is a novel in verse, and I really, really, really enjoy those. So yeah, very excited for this one indeed. I might move you slightly that way because I'm just a tiny bit worried that it's coming across a bit blurry here, because after my Women's Prize one, which looked like it was all in soft focus, it was just the lighting. In fact, I thumbed my phone camera. I'm just checking that I haven't done that again, actually. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, hopefully that'll stop that soft focusy random glare that's coming. Then onto some queer poetry, two different queer collections. First of which is Limbic by, there is something going on where if I hold it like that, the light isn't quite right. Anyway, this is Limbic by Peter Scalepello, and this is meant to be queer, fantastic poetry. I'm really, really excited for this. It's from Cypher Press, who I wanted to read quite a few books of and haven't got around to yet, but will. I'm going to pause this and just clean my camera because I'm worried it might be that. Let's see if that has changed it. Not really, how weird. Anyway, must just be the way the light is right now. Limbic, it's queer poetry. It's meant to be very sexy, and yeah, that sounds like my kind of thing. As does Panic Response by John McCullough. I have read both of John's previous collections and absolutely loved them. So I'm really, really excited for this one. And it is, I've talked about this before on the channel, the fact that I get really, really, when I first got into reading again after I hadn't for ages, and actually I suppose when I was first getting into adult fiction when I was younger, I always looked for queer fiction because it helped me sort of find my place in the world a little bit, and then started to read fiction about anybody else basically and walk in other people's shoes, because that's what I love. And what I found is, as I'm sort of trying to get to kind of grips with poetry more, it is queer poetry that really kind of is doing it for me. So anyway, there's that. Then we have, I'm really excited for this. I don't know much about it at all and don't really want to. I kind of want to go into it blind, which is what I say about all books and why sometimes I think my hauls are funny, because I Simonize. I think my hauls are funny. Sometimes I think my hauls are a bit daft because I Simonize the book rather than do a blurb, because it's like what I think it might be about. Anyway, I don't know what Milk Teeth by Jessica Andrews is about, but I know that I'm desperate to read it because I absolutely adored Saltwater, and when I was judging and chair of the judges for the Portico Prize, Jessica Andrews' Saltwater was our winner, and I've been excited for this ever since. So we have that too. Then, now this is something I would like to get into more in my 40s, so I think this book's going to be kind of perfect for that. We have Wildcard, Let the Tarot Tell Your Story, and this is by Jen Cownie. Oh, I can't say that. This is by Jen Cownie and Fiona Lensvelt, who are also known as, they do literature, which I can't get. See, I think it wants to be held that way, doesn't it? That's how it wants to be held. It wants that sunshine. It wants that light. Anyway, it can't have it. But yeah, this is a guide to tarot, and it's one that I'm really, really excited for. I would really, really like to get into tarot over the next few years. And actually, lovely Melanie, aforementioned, who I do book club with, bought me these amazing cards that I'm going to hopefully do some stuff with over the coming months. I want to start them either on my birthday or like just after, maybe I need to do a bit of reading around it. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Let's move on. I have coveted this collection since I saw the American proofs going out and people getting it on Instagram. This is Rainbow by Lydia Conklin, and these are short stories, queer short stories. And another thing that I've really enjoyed actually is queer short story collections over the last year or so, and this is very much one of those, and I just cannot wait for it. I'm so excited for it. It's out in June. I haven't said when these ones out. I can't speak. I haven't said when these other ones are out, but the sun, it's getting to me. I still haven't worked out how to film where in this room since I've got all the new furniture and stuff. Anyway, then on to a novel that I'm really, really keen to get to and was on my Women's Prize predictions list. That video I shall link down below if I remember. I'll also try and remember to put all of the different book titles below because I know I haven't been, but after that wobble that I had mental health wise in February, filming a video and just getting it live seems to be like a big tick if I manage to do that. So yeah, that's why sometimes the description box isn't as full as I would like, or some of you would like apparently. So anyway, this is Lauren John Joseph's At Certain Points We Touch, which is all about a narrator who is walking through the streets on the 29th of February early in the morning and is reminded that one of their exes was born on the leap year date. And then we go 10 years back to that relationship, which was one of great passion, but also great destruction. And it looks at everyone who got caught up in the whirlwind of it, and we follow as it goes across different continents. It sounds phenomenal, and I think it's going to be brilliant. So I'm looking forward to getting to that one. One of my most anticipated books for the year has arrived, and I'm so excited for this, and I do want to read this very, very, very soon, is The Blue Hour, or is it just Blue Hour? Blue Hour, sorry, by Sarah Schmidt, who I adore, and I should say is one of my friends, but I'm so looking forward to their next novel. I like to think that I can distinguish between friendship and, I suppose, bookish workish stuff, but yeah, Sarah's been on the channel. Actually, she's been on Crime Time with me and Pip. I absolutely loved See What I Have Done. Was it See What I Have Done, or was it See What You Made Me Do? I should know this. Sarah, I'm so sorry. Oh, she'll be laughing at the screen if she sees this. See What I Have Done. I'm sure it's See What I've Done. Unhelpfully, yeah, See What I've Done, it's there. I thought Unhelpfully wasn't there, but it was. Shame on me. Which was a fictional account of the Lizzie Borden historical murders. This is very, very different, I've heard, and yeah, I don't know too much about it. I just want to go in and read it a little bit blind and just see what I make of it. Then, and I don't do this very often, but an author offered to send me their book, and I was so excited about it, and the family sort of saga nature of it, that I was just like, yeah, also the cover's gorgeous. This is the cover of the proof. It's The Wildfires by Sophie Jai, and like I said, it's a big family saga and is one that I'm just so excited for. And also Sophie won a competition to get published with Fourth Estate and Borough Press, and yeah, I'm just really intrigued for it. So that is out in May. I feel awful that I haven't said when each one of these is out. Another book that's out in May is Young Woman by Jessica Moore. This is the proof edition. I still have not read Jessica Moore's The Keeper, which loads and loads of people raved about. And yeah, I want to get to this one afterwards. So I think I'll probably, yeah, will I read The Keeper first? Maybe I'll read this one first. I do like to read authors in order where I can, like if they've been published within the last few years. But anyway, moving on. It says on the front, everyone's got that history, I guess. Everyone's got a story. Young women. There are some books you want to share with other women, and there are some books you have to. So yeah, sounds like it's going to be an interesting read, that one. Then I have been meaning to read this author. Then when I'm editing these videos, they're the bits that I hate and I try and cut out. I'm going to try not to edit too much, because that's another thing with this whole blip that I've been going through. I'm trying not to edit too much, and just like I said, get the videos out there, get the content out there. I hope you don't mind. Do you prefer it edited or prefer it not edited? Let me know that in the comments down below too. I'm asking a lot of you today. Anyway, I have wanted to read Nina LaCour for a while. People have really raved about her young adult fiction. This is her debut novel for adults. It's called Yerba Buena, and that is all I know about it, apart from the fact that that cover is delicious, and so therefore I want to read it. So there we go. There's that. Now, this is an interesting one. This is the penultimate book from publishers, and I feel a bit bad that I got this, because I know it's like it's a proof that so many people would love to have, and I wasn't a massive fan of their previous book, which was short stories. This is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola, and I just found that collection so mixed and kind of, I don't know, that I'm intrigued for this, but also a bit like, do I want to read it? So we shall see, and I will report back if I do. I don't know what it's about. Again, I just have Love in Colour, her short story collection, to go on. But yeah, there we go. There's that one. I wanted to give it a mention anyway. And last but not least from publishers, one that I definitely do want to read and I'm really excited for, and possibly, I haven't asked him this yet, but I will do after I film this video. I would really like to see this as a buddy read with Hardback Hyper Beast, who, was it Hyper Beast Hardback? No, it's Hardback Hyper Beast. Wow, I'm doing well today. Who I met when I was at the book bar, and me and Melanie did like a come and meet us and we'll recommend you books on Books in My Bag Day. Was it Books in My Bag Day or was it Bookshop Day? Honestly, it doesn't matter. But I'd really like to do a buddy read with Ewan of this, because I know that he's bought this recently because I mentioned it in my Women's Prize predictions video. It's The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan, which looks like it's going to be a kind of dystopic novel about the not too distant future where you are judged on your parenthood, and even the smallest little thing will have your child taken away from you and you are sent to a school for parenting, in this case a school for good mothers. And yeah, it just sounds fascinating, so I'd like to get to that one. Then, now this book I was meant to do for a read along with the Tandem Collective, and I was really excited for it, but we were due to start, I think, well, this book didn't arrive until over a week after we were due to start reading it, so I didn't get around to reading it along with everyone. But thank you to them for getting me it, because it was one that I really want to read. It's some non-fiction. It's The Problem with My Normal Penis by Obioma Ugula. And I have to say, I don't think I've mentioned penis on this channel before until the start of 2022. And then I've said the word so many times because of Ryan O'Connell's book. And now this one. What is going on with publishing? It's all about penises. Anyway, this is Myths of Race, Sex and Masculinity, and I think it's going to be amazing. I know Obioma through an event that he did with the charity that I work for, Libraries Connected, where we were looking at Black Stories Matter, and he was talking about writing this, but also what it's been like for him as a performer retelling stories. He's in Hamilton, or was in Hamilton, and I think now is in Frozen, so he's a singer and actor as well. And yeah, I just think this is going to be really interesting. I had a flick through and some of the subject matter sounds fascinating, as does this gift, which the lovely Ollie Bliss, who doesn't really do his channel anymore, gave me when I went and saw him and saw his exhibition Soft Lads, writing inspired by the tapestries that Ollie created. And I'm really looking forward to this. So all of the tapestries that he created are based on people from social media and sort of the masculinity around them, and he looks at like all the different forms of masculinity a little bit. Actually, it does kind of sing to The Problem with My Normal Penis, just so that I can say penis again, penis. But yeah, I'm really keen to get to this in due course. It was so nice to go and see his exhibition. I shared a little bit of that also in the last video that I put live on the channel. Now on to books that I bought myself. I'm doing these in size order. So first of all, going back to The Problem with My Normal Penis. Oh dear. I have, and I'm really excited to read this. This is Self-Esteem by Rebecca Lucy Taylor, who is the artist Self-Esteem, whose music I absolutely love. And a pop star writing a book that's all in kind of vignettes and stuff just seemed like my kind of thing. And I want to support more indie presses. And this is from the lovely folk at the Your Shelf Press. So I got it, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. And I've been really enjoying listening to the new remix of You Forever that's gone out. Anyway, when I was in Swindon, one of the libraries that I'm working with on my day job, they had the most amazing shop. And in the shop was this book, A Saint in Swindon, by Alice Jolly. So I picked it up. I know nothing about it, but I'm planning on reading it before I return to Swindon. So yeah, I loved the fact that they had like books for sale and stuff in there, and they had so much merch that I nearly got, because you know me, I love a t-shirt. Speaking of which, how do you like this? This is from the lovely folk at Branded and Monica, and I think they're making it live again, the link to it, so if you want a Savage one, head there and have a look. But if they haven't, just say, I'd like a Simon t-shirt please, because if you can see, Simon Savage, Simon Says, Simon Templar, who was the Saint, which was books but also a TV show, and Simon and the Witch, which is one of my favourite set of books and TV shows as a kid, because I'm from that generation. Anyway, then, when I was in Llandudno for a random, very last minute overnight stay, I went around the charity shops and got two quite difficult to get Rose Tremaine books. We have The Swimming Pool Season. I think, is this short stories or is it a novel? I'm not sure. But yeah, the swimming pool season, and I would at some point like to have read everything by Rose Tremaine. She's one of my favourite writers, and I think this is definitely short stories. We have here The Garden of the Villa Mellini. So yeah, two hard to get editions of Rose Tremaine books. So that's exciting. That's one of the things that can be fabulous about, let's move forward again, fabulous about charity shops and finding books there. Then this was a supermarket buy. I'm not proud of myself. I know that supermarket buys aren't great for the industry, but I picked it up on a whim when I was feeling a little bit sad and thought I was going to read it within that week and didn't. But it's 1979 by Val McDermid. I love Val McDermid novels. I have not read one of her thrillers for ages. This is the first in a new series. I need to get to it. There we go. Then I, out of nowhere, decided that I wanted to read all of the Dylan Thomas Prize books. And so one such book is Tyson's Keeping the House. That's on the long list. So, I mean, I love the Dylan Thomas Prize, but I do this thing where I'm like, oh, I'm going to read that, I'm going to read that. And then, of course, the Women's Prize long list is announced next week. The Man Booker International is announced this week. The Stella Prize has just had the long list announced. I'm definitely going to read all of the Women's Prize long list because I read that with Mum, but I'm going to try and get to some of these as I go along the way. But that's one of the ones that was on there. In fact, should I head to the other ones that I brought there? Yes, I will. So we have Auguries of a Minor God by Nidizak/Aria Eep. And this is a poetry collection that is up for the Dylan Thomas. I hope it's the Dylan Thomas. I think it's the Dylan Thomas. But the poetry in here looks quite experimental and unusual. And I do like that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm really, really intrigued to get for this. I don't think it's queer poetry, but I think that's the other thing that I like, quite unusual poetry, maybe. So we have that. And is there another one? Yes, we have Pieces by Helen Oyeyemi. I've meant to read Helen Oyeyemi for ages. I still haven't got around to reading her. Actually, I should have put this on my Women's Prize long list predictions, maybe. But yeah, I've been wanting to read her for ages. I've collected all. She's one of those authors who's I've collected all of the books of and haven't got around to reading yet. So naughty me. Do I start with the last one or do I head to the beginning? That's the question. And then we also have What Noise Against the Cane by Desiree C Bailey, which is more poetry that's up for the Dylan Thomas. And yeah, I hope to get to that one soon. In fact, actually, while I'm reading some big chunky books over the weeks to come, because I have to for various things going on, I might kind of head to shorter little poetry collections. I did want to sneakily try and read a book a day in March. It's not going to happen because with these many days in March and hasn't happened. Anyway, I have a video coming up with the wonderful Kate from Harris and Harris Books, who I adore and became kind of a icon on the internet for me during the pandemic when she was doing her What's in the Box Mrs. Harris Instagram videos, where she goes through what's coming in to the bookshop. And she talked to me about how when me and my mum went there along with my stepdad Tim and had a lovely 3 hours with it, and it was just so much fun, but also a bit like meeting an internet celebrity. And yeah, but it did apparently really kind of save her bookshop doing those videos. We've got a video coming on my channel where she recommends 5 books for all of you lovely lot. But while I was there filming, of course, I had to buy books. So I got myself Cadix Day. I have the proof, but I wanted the finished edition. Haven't read it yet, but I'm really keen to. Very short and sharp. Could be, like I said, something that I read while I've got some chunksters ahead. Now, I am naughty because I shouldn't have technically bought this, but you know, we're in a bookshop and you want to support it and you just sort of start buying everything that you get your eyes on that you think would work. I thought I would start this the day after we visited, and I just didn't. But it's the paperback of The Promise by Damon Galgut. I do really, really want to read this. This won the Booker last year, but I just haven't got to it yet. I do have the hardback though, but also then part of me was thinking, oh, if I've got the paperback and I keep the hardback pristine, like it's the first edition, it won the Booker, could be worth something one day, could pay off my mortgage. Probably won't, but could. And then the other book that I got, and this was a cover by, and actually Chris has been sniffing around this, he wants it. How gorgeous is that? And actually that looks really nice against that wallpaper. How gorgeous are those spreads? Absolutely stunning. This is The Language of Food by Annabelle Alves. And this is, and I love this in fiction, and I need to read more of it, but it's based on the true story of Britain's first domestic goddess. And that just sounded amazing. It's about a woman who changed kind of cookery writing for it, and Chris trains as a chef, so he's got his mitts on it, and it looks really nice with that background, so that could be a Bookstagram picture for the future. And then the last 3 books are all imported, so books that I've ordered from over the pond, as they say. Do they say that? Do they say somewhere else? Where is the pond? I always get confused which bit the pond is. Anyway, moving on because this video will go on forever. The first is one that I solely blame on Mercedes because I saw her talk about this short story collection. It sounded amazing. It's Sleepovers by Ashley Bryant Phillips. Yeah, I really want to get to this one at some point. It just sounded like they were all going to be fantastic. And I think Kendra really loved this too. So we have that. Then we have, and I'm so excited about this book, It's Untrue. And this is one of the kind of chunksters that I want to get to over the coming weeks. I don't know when it's coming out in the UK or if it's coming out in the UK, but I absolutely loved her previous novel. It was up for the Women's Prize, and that's what got me into Heather O'Neill, because this is Heather O'Neill's latest novel, When We Lost Our Heads, which is a fictional reimagining of Mary Antoinette. And yeah, I'm just so excited for it. And it's also beautiful. And I saw it on, I can't remember where I saw it now. Was it on someone's Instagram? It was like, oh, Heather O'Neill has a new book out. And also, oh my God, it's so beautiful. So that was my reaction to this book. And so therefore I had to order it. And last but not least, a book that you'll have seen if you saw my Women's Prize predictions video, is The Sentence by Louise Erdrich, which I just think sounds amazing. Can't bear the UK cover, but absolutely love this one. And this is all about a bookshop which is haunted by the ghost of a former customer, but also is where a woman is starting work there who has just come out of prison. And so you have her sentence, but also I think it's about books and everything, so obviously Sentence is there. So that sounds amazing too. Oh, I just threw a book across the room. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to go. Let me know if you've read any of these, but if you've read them and you didn't like them, they're new to me and I'm excited about them, so don't tell me you didn't like them, because you can do that once I've read them. I'm in panic about that book over there, so I'm really going to go. Goodbye, I'll speak to you all soon. Bye. It was okay, guys, it was okay. I got it, it's all fine, I promise. I thought you might worry about it as much as I was worrying about it, but yeah. Anyway, like I said, I will speak to you all soon. Let me know your thoughts on any of these books in the comments below. But like I said, if you didn't like them, don't tell me that yet. Tell me that after I've read them, when I'm happy to talk to you about the good, the bad and everything in a book. But yeah, I will speak to you all very soon. Well, tomorrow, because this is an extra surprise Saturday video. Yeah, bye.